Hey guys, welcome back to Unicycle Lore. We got some Unicon stuff to go over. This is Unicon update number 2, Unicon Steyr. I have been looking at some stuff. I guess it was movie day today, movie night took place in Steyr because I've been seeing some uploads that I really want to watch. Okay, I see that the progress bar shows that I watched this whole thing. That's not true. It's a lie. I watched about a third of it, and then I realized I got to do a reaction to this. This is Peachy 2, the sequel to Mike Backlida's classic Peachy video. And if you look at the video above, which was uploaded at the same time, it's titled My 1260 Story. That's, there's a 1260 in Peachy 2. I'm spoiling that right here. I started watching it, and I was like, every trick was just so nuts. I have to do a full breakdown / reaction type thing. That's going to be here soon. You need to go watch this on Mike's channel, and you got to watch this one too. I haven't watched either of these fully yet. Despite what this is fake. All right, this is fake news. Anyway, this is another one. I'm holding off on this. I'm actually torn here. I don't know if I want to record my reaction to Paralyzed by Scotty Julian, or if I just want to watch this one for myself, like put it on my TV in my living room and just enjoy the cinematic experience here. I was hoping it would be a little bit longer, but it's 3 minutes, and I'm thinking I might just I don't know if I'm gonna let you see my reaction to this one or not. I gotta really think about it, but you should definitely go watch it. And while you're on YouTube, I know I didn't get all of the movie night videos, but if you're keeping up with Unicon stuff, you got to go check out Trey Hahn's channel here. He has been uploading stuff like this is the X-Style prelims. We're going to talk about X-Style here in a little bit. Results are in. And X-Style is where, we're transitioning out of the jumps and trials portion of Unicon into the Flatland portion. And I am so fired up, dude. I know that these guys are going to be waking up here in a little bit to begin the next phase of the Flatland competition. So we got to talk brackets. I got to get this video out. They did a Flatland 2v2, like an unofficial comp, a workshop. And this is an idea that's, I've talked about this before on the channel. They floated this at NAUCC, tested it out a little bit. I haven't watched either of these all the way through, but I think it's an interesting concept. I could see this morphing into a full competition at some point, and I like that these dudes are playing around with this. I think this was Dale is still kind of the one who's leading the charge on all of this, and I just appreciate a creative new competition. So go check out Trey's channel, watch all this stuff. I don't know if Trey had a movie night movie or not, if he's just been in training mode, but you should go watch this. I'm actually going to leave the rest of these tabs open so I can link people at the end of this. I gotta remember to put these in the description. Anyway, we're gonna pop onto Instagram here for a second. Let me, guys, this is gonna be a little scattered. I can't organize a ton of stuff. I don't have a ton of time to do this, but I'm just gonna take a look through here. Look at this right here. This when I saw this 3 days ago before any competitions, that first clip there, and I'm sorry to cut Oliver off, but this is like just synchronized nines. These dudes, when I was watching this, I was like, oh, these are X-Style guys. You know what I mean? It's like their style is just perfect for X-Style, which turned out to be pretty telling about what was going to happen. Spoilers, but this dude threw down Fuo. We've talked about him before here as well. There's Florian. He's the unispin guy whose unicycle doesn't come off the ground when he does his spins. His unicycle also didn't come off the ground. Oliver's, this is 7 spin to foot jam. That's crazy. These things are so sick. These guys are having just the sickest sessions at Unicon. I would have loved to have been a part of at least one of these gym floor sessions. I mean, look at this stuff. Oh, this looks really fun. The no-handed hop twist. Some of these guys are crazy. I saw a clip on here of one of these dudes. I don't know his name. It was a Japanese guy trying a 900 hop twist on the gym floor. I don't know what guy it was. Please shout him out in the comments if you know his name. I didn't save the clip. It might have even been stories I was looking at. Again, with the stories, guys. Please put them on a post. Make a reel. You're killing me with these. I can't even remember the dude's name. A lot of spoilers in here. Okay, hold up. I'm going to back up a little bit. We're talking jumps. We gotta talk high jump first. In the last video, we talked high jump over bar. Aiden Telecki, big story of the day on the last Unicycle chat because he jumped 130 centimeters, crushing the competition by a whopping 10 centimeters, which is crazy. Then we move on to high jump onto platform, which is, I don't know if Aiden would agree with me on this, but in my opinion, this has always kind of been this dude's bread and butter, is the high jump onto the ledge. And he almost broke a world record to take another gold medal, 145 centimeters. 145 centimeters in comp is just mind-blowing, okay? And like this time he won by an even bigger margin, beating Stepan Tonker by 15 centimeters. He got 130. 130 even is insane. And Mayo Robert with 128 to round out your top three there. This guy, we're going to talk a little bit more about him in a bit, but Aiden, 145, dude, it's sick. I want to talk a little bit more about Aiden, but let's first jump up here to the female result. This is earth-shattering stuff, guys. Evelyn Rohn, look, she has ID number 1. She was the first person registered for Unicon, and she became the first female rider to ever hit the 1 meter mark on a unicycle. This is unreal. We got records going left and right here. Okay, I remember for a long time, Maria Wegschneider from Germany was Austria? Germany? Oh, it's crazy that I can't remember that. She was German. I hope. I should look that up. Someone tell me in the comments. That's so bad. I got to change the channel name. Anyway, she would win these competitions with heights of, I think, like 89 centimeters, maybe 90. And it just seemed like for a while, we kind of were maxing out. And this Evelyn Rohn, her you should check out her Instagram. Let me see if her Instagram page. Well, here's the hop. Here's the 100 centimeter hop. Rolling, pre-hop, just like sick technique. 1 meter, gold medal, world record. She's fired up. This is so sick. And you should check her page here, Evelyn's UniQuest on Instagram. Her like training just looks super intense and legit. She's got this sick trials park. I mean, all this stuff looks super cool. You can tell she just has been going hard training for this, and you love to see someone's training pay off. Way to world champion. This was her documenting her road to the world championship, and she made it. How sick is that? I just think that is so cool. Okay, we're going to talk more about Aiden now. Congratulations, first of all, to just anybody who did this. Oops. Evelyn, Johanna Sturm, and Ruth Seegers. That's your top 3 female, okay? I'm sorry. I said this was going to be a little scattered. It is. I got to talk about Aiden a little more. I know he was like kind of the focus of the last video in a lot of ways, but I just think Aiden has one of the cooler unicycle stories of anyone I've met. Just look, that is a thing of beauty, man. His high jumps just look so sick. First try, 145, and he went for broke. He could have gone for the world record. The current world record was set by, by Mike Taylor. It was 148 centimeters. Sorry, 140. I gotta redo this video. I'm blowing it. Is this trash or is this... Oh, geez. Okay, the AI is actually correct. 148.5 centimeters by Mike Taylor, August 3rd, 2018. Okay, so Mike Taylor has the record 148 centimeters. So Aiden could have just jumped in there and shot for 149. Could have done that. He wanted to go for a clean world record of 150 centimeters and was unable to get it in the 3 tries he was allotted, but I just respect the effort, This dude's going home from Unicon with 2 world champion gold medals. Those look sick, by the way. These medals look amazing. Congratulations to Aiden. You know what's crazy about Aiden? So, I've known Aiden for a long time. He's a personal friend of mine. And many of my happiest unicycle memories are with Aiden. The first time I met him was in 2010. My dad dropped me off at Grand Central Station in New York City, I walked inside to meet Aiden. It was the first time I'd ever met him. You know, we'd talked a little bit online, and we took a train to Will Riley's house and to get ready for the New York City Unifest. We went back to New York for a couple days. It was awesome. When I met Aiden, he hopped left foot forward. You know, he was a beginner trials rider. You know, by that point, he was pretty good. He could do some stuff, but he was obviously not anything like he is today. He was still kind of an up-and-coming rider. And if you look closely, you'll see Aiden hops right foot forward now. So there was like a transition period in the early 2010s where Aiden switched his stance completely. This is a trials specialist, a guy who specializes in hopping, and he's completely switched his hopping stance to go from left foot forward to right foot forward because he thought it would be advantageous for his high jump technique, like to tuck toward your back foot rather than toward your front foot. I don't know how that works. I don't know the breakdown there. He must be right because he's literally the best high jumper in the world. Okay, so like he was correct about that. And to just see him make that change, I remember being so I was confused actually by his desire to change his stance, because to me it just seems, if you've ever ridden switch before, if you've ever tried to switch your stance to do tricks, it's like it's insanely hard. Okay, it just feels totally unnatural, and he committed to it and it worked out. Obviously it worked out beautifully because he's unreal at hopping. I just thought it was crazy, but he committed fully. So that's one of my stories about Aiden. I have many of them. Like I said, a lot of my happiest unicycle memories are with this dude. And so to see him take home 2 gold medals at Unicon just is like, I don't know, man. I'm proud of this dude. This is sick. I'm stoked for him. He's a beast at Smash Brothers too, all right? I thought I was good at Smash Brothers until I played against Aiden. All right, I'm going to move on now. We're moving off of that. Congratulations to everyone who competed in all the jumping events, anyone who got a medal or broke their record or whatever. I'm happy for you. I love the hopping events. I think hopping on a unicycle, it's like it was designed for it. You know what I mean? It's such it's a sick utensil for high jump, for long jump, which is actually what we're going to talk about next, long jump. This is long jump on platform. Okay, so this is platform long jump. I've been talking about this guy, Mael Robert, French guy, crazy hopper, jacked. You know, he's popped up time and time again. We talk about trials and stuff. I showcased one of his videos in a recent Unicycle chat. This guy's work ethic is crazy. You know, he's another one of these guys like Evelyn. Check this, another gold medal for Evelyn on the female side of things, 190 centimeters. Roos on there again, second place. Sophia Van Veen, that's a name we've heard a number of times. Julia Bredeker. I found out recently that Julia was actually the former world trials champion prior to this Unicon. I didn't shout that out in the last update, but she was. So there's your female results up top here, and down at the bottom, Mael Robert, 267. That's a world record. He actually set a world record in the prelims with a hop of 260 centimeters. Oh, wait. That is in here somewhere. Here. It's it, I think. The Unicycle World Championship official Instagram page has this stuff on here if you want to go check it out. How have I not liked this yet? Anyway, Mael Robert, he set a record at 260 centimeters in the prelim and then broke his own world record by 7 centimeters in the finals to take the gold medal. And this is, I mean, look at, so look how second through 5th, even 6th here is all clustered up, 247 to 235. You got a 12 centimeters difference there from top to bottom. And then there's just a 20 centimeter gap to Mael Robert, which is crazy, right? He won by 20 centimeters. That is nuts. But just to shout out these other guys, Johannes Baumkirchner, going to be talking about him in a minute here. Second place with 247. This looks like a tie. I was reading very briefly, went over the tiebreaker criteria. Can't remember what it was. I think it was because it took Johannes Baumkirchner fewer tries to hit 247 than it took Thiago Morant. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. Mark Fabian, 4th place, and Marin Michaud, 5th, to round out your top 5 there. And then some other familiar names down here. Jacob Flansberry, Julian Schrott, Yun Chen Pao. Is this the guy who medaled in high jump I don't know. I don't know. I didn't actually see his name written out. I just heard the announcer say it. Maybe, probably, right? The guy's a hopping specialist. I don't know. But this is sick. I love unicycle jumps. It gets me fired up. Those are your long jump results. So I was talking to Mael Robert about this a little bit, and he mentioned. Now I was just telling him, it seems like he's having a really good Unicon. You know, trials results were good, high jump results were good, long jump results, world champ, and he told me he medaled in still stand as well. So I pulled up the still stand results to check out how he did. Second place, behind Yongsheng Yang, who did a still stand for 15 minutes. And then Mael got 11 and a half minutes. Marcus Perchke, 7 minutes. Mark, again, Mark is always in the game, you know? Stepan Tonker, 644. These are your top 5 in male still stand. And then I looked up top here at the female results, and Anna Schrodinger did a 71-minute still stand. Is that real? Is this a typo or is this legit? She was doing a still stand for the length of like a feature length film. Well, that's a slight exaggeration, but an hour and 10 minutes still stand? That's crazy. That is insane if that's real. Is this a misplaced zero or is this legit? Somebody has to let me know. Because, either way, it's crazy. 7 minutes still stand for me is like, to me, that's mind blowing, right? That's like, I don't think I can still stand. Maybe I'll try this. If you want to see me do literally my best still stand, maybe I'll make that a winter training thing. I could do that inside, right? I could just bring my unicycle down here and practice still stand in the basement for a couple minutes a day, 15 minutes. Maybe if I get good enough, that'll only be one try. But that's world record quality. I don't think I'm even close. I don't know that I could even still stand for 20 seconds. I highly doubt it. So 71 minutes is mind-blowing to me. Anyway, I had to show you guys this. And yeah, this guy, he's popping off at Unicon. Mael Robert. He's sick. French guy. Very cool. And congratulations to everybody else here too. I'm not familiar with this rider. I'm hesitant to even pronounce his name because I know I'm going to mess it up so bad. Taiwanese rider, but 15 minutes is crazy. Right? That is nuts. Born in 2010, so he's only 16. Young guy. Pretty cool. All right. Next up, we're transitioning over to the type of riding where people are doing tricks. Okay? We're getting into my bread and butter a little bit here. X style results are in. And if you're not familiar with the competition format, X style, it's like you do a run in a gym. And I don't know fully how the scoring works, but it's basically you're trying to do your best tricks, right? You're trying to do your best tricks in a run. And it's a type of competition that lends itself particularly well to riders who specialize in what I discussed as flat style in like my end of year review, because these guys can cover every single base, especially really good flat style riders like your top 3 here, Fuo Sato, August, and Shuhei. These guys they're phenomenal freestyle riders or like unicycle dance riders who know a bunch of different ways of maneuvering the unicycle and pedaling it around, and they know skills, but also they have unbelievable tricks. Okay, you know my thoughts on August, and I've talked about Fuo Sato so many times on this channel because his stuff is crazy, and Shuhei blew my mind at the last Unicon. I know he caught a lot of people off guard, I think, just how sick he was in the flat comp. So I wasn't surprised at all to see these top 3 results. I want to see videos of these. I'm going to have to do some looking around because I would really like to see some videos. I see that in his run at some point he used 2 unicycles. That's like, I'd love to see what that was all about. Looks like he busted a whip in his run. I'm guessing he landed that. He seems really consistent at it, and there's all your finalists. So a pretty sick crew here. Hang on one second. Let me get back to the results here. Florian Brecht. This is the guy who I talked about at the end of your review. This guy can 1080. When he does 1080s, his unicycle doesn't leave the ground. I believe I actually mentioned that earlier in this video as well. I'm not familiar with Loic Ruckert. This is Trey. I don't know Kazuki or Kiel or Takahiko. I don't know these guys super well, but if you want to like link me their Instagram or something, I will check all these dudes out. I love X Style, man. I think X Style is such a sick concept. You just go in there, you bust your best tricks, You don't have to plan like a performance. There's not like a performance aspect to it like there is with freestyle, which I always found, it wasn't my style, but I like the idea of freestyle, essentially just learning skills on your unicycle and then demonstrating them. It's not that different from Flatland, really. It's all, you do tricks on flat ground. And so X style is just it's a nice like almost like a transitionary style between traditional freestyle and modern Flatland that I've always been drawn to. And this, I still think of this in my head as like a newer competition, but I believe the first recent X style competition, this was like a thing a long time ago, and then they brought it back. The recent one that I'm remembering when they brought it back was at Unicon in 2014. So we're looking at a competition that's over 12 years old now, so really not new, but still in my head, it's like the new one. So yeah, that's X style. Congratulations to all these guys. I am not surprised at all to see Fuo leaving with a gold medal. I'm sure he's just getting started. We got Flatland. Brackets are in, and the first time I looked at this, I was like very confused. This is not a bracket format I'm super familiar with. These are the female ones. If we look at the final bracket, you'll see there are these blank spots in the outer parts of the bracket. So these are your top seeded riders. You've got Sophia Van Veen. This is your top seed up here, obviously at the top. Number 2 seed is down here at the bottom. And the people in these lower brackets are battling their way through to the end to earn one of these spots. So these people they have buys essentially straight into the finals. This is a cool tournament format. I think this is like, they have tried so many different tournament formats at Unicon for Flatland, and I actually think this is a nice way to refine the whole thing. If you do really well in your prelim, you essentially get a bye into the quarterfinals, and everybody else gets chances to battle in a sudden death format to earn other places in the final bracket. And there's only 2 up for grabs. So down here, this is dog eat dog. Okay? This is like you gotta be, it's do or die. You lose, you're out, which is cool. It's very cool. If you make it to the quarterfinals, you have a chance. If you lose, you can battle back for 3rd place. I think that makes sense. I think that's very cool. Someone has to take that bronze medal, and it's nice to get a win at the end of a brutal tournament. I think that this is a really good way to do it. In the male competition, they take 26 riders out of the preliminary round. So of all the people who compete, 26 of them qualify to do the battles. And I love that. That gets me stoked. The most fun part about a flat comp are the battles, okay? The runs are cool. The prelims are cool, but they're quick. It's 45 seconds. Plus, I guess you get some tries at a final trick. The run format, in my opinion, is better suited to X style or for seeding 26 guys for the final, for the actual battle part of the competition, which is just more, if you're a spectator, this is a much more spectator-friendly type of tournament format, in my opinion. So this is cool. I was going through this bracket. I don't know all these guys. I know a lot of them, though. But this has 5 lower brackets. All of these dudes in the lower brackets are battling it out for 2 spots that remain open on the final. So let's just look at your top seed here. August, number 1 seed, heading into the Flatland finals. I'm not shocked. He was my rider of the year last year. I'm stoked about this. This little section of bracket here, this looks cool, man. So August and Ben battled for 3rd at the last Unicon. There's a chance they get a rematch here in the semifinals, assuming August is to beat whoever comes out of these lower brackets. And we're going to talk about the lower brackets in a second. Whoever comes out of that lower bracket, if he beats them, and if Ben were to beat Trey, which certainly not a given. Okay, certainly not a given. Dude's a weapon. I've talked about him a number of times on this channel as well. That could be an interesting matchup. Now, on the other hand, I'm just like, I'm ignoring this spot here because I don't know who that's going to be. But, whoever makes it out of this bracket, whoever makes it out of this tournament is going to be just on a roll, okay? Because they just had to get through this whole gauntlet of some of the world's toughest riders, okay? The world's most insane unicyclists. They've just battled through a gauntlet. They're warm, okay? They're fired up. They're ready to go. They've just won their way through. They're on a winning streak, just by the nature of this bracket, to get to this spot right here to battle August, you have to be already on fire, and then he's got to step up and it's do or die. I think it's very cool. But assuming August were to win this and make it to the semifinals, and that Trey were to win this and make it to the semifinals, I mean, these are dudes that just were riding together in Ghana earlier this year, if I'm not mistaken. Like they're boys, and they might meet up. That's cool. A little drama. And then down here you've got Steffi. This is your second seed, by the way, coming out of prelims. And if you recall the video I made a couple days ago, he dislocated his shoulder in the trials prelims. And he was, whatever run he was able to put together earned him the second seed in the bracket. You're returning world champ with an injury in the second place spot on the bracket. What was his run, dude? Was he doing stuff with one arm or just ignoring the pain? Is this like, I would love to see what he did. Is he just good? Does his arm hurt? I don't know, man. So this is top seed, second seed, third seed is up here. Trey, the third seed. It's like his name, a 3 spin with a single flip. 360, Trey, 3. Roger Hahn the third seed. Is this the stars aligning for Trey to take the gold? I don't know, dude. Should I put on a tinfoil hat? I'm thinking about it. I can't stop thinking about it. Anyway, fourth seed, Fuo. Dude's coming in hot off a win in X style. Probably if you already have a gold medal, I feel like some of the pressure would be relieved. He's probably not coming into this with a ton of pressure. And I'm guessing from his freestyle background, he's used to performing in front of big crowds and stuff. This dude is going to be tough to beat, but he's going head to head with one of the veteran riders, Yella Dillon. You cannot ever count Yella out. This guy's bag of tricks is perfect for competitions. He is also dangerous. This is sick, okay? This is a sick final bracket. I'm excited to see what happens with this. Now, who's going to take this spot? Who is going to take this spot? Well, let's dig in here a little bit. Let's take a look at some of this. I'm nerding out about this a little bit harder than I thought I was going to, but I went in and looked at the bracket, and this section of the bracket is insane. Okay? So someone has to, first of all, earn their way into this spot. We should probably just start at the bottom. What am I doing? I don't know all these guys, is the thing, but I know a lot of them. Okay, Christian Alejo Montano, he's been around for a long time, and so has Pavel. I don't know if I'm saying his name right. I'm not familiar with Vitus. I don't know Sebastian very well. No. Bertram Egerskov, I guess this is... Well, Bertram was at the last Unicon too. I don't know if he made the finals there. I don't know a lot of these guys. But, one of these dudes is going to be on a roll. They have to win out to get this spot or this spot. All right? Whoever wins this bracket, they're coming up here. UC, we've talked about him before on the channel. Folke Schubert, more of a street guy, but his bag of tricks is sick. Waylon Bat. Should have mentioned him in the last video. This is, Waylon's a sleeper pick. Former world champ. Okay, he won in Korea. He's nuts. He's jacked now, too, which I've discussed before. I think it's an asset. I think muscle is an asset for unicycling to a certain extent. And I think Waylon's looking huge and he's looking athletic. And I'm thinking he is dangerous, okay? If he wins his way through a bracket, makes it to the end, he's going to be up and rolling. He is going to be tough to beat. Oliver, friend of the channel, I've watched him become a serious competitor. I think he's dangerous as well. But Dale, you can't count Dale out. Dale, the master MC. I see this dude MCing like every single comp at Unicon. And he's an American. So I do kind of have to root for him a little bit, Let's go, dude. Dale, I want to see what you got. I would love to see Dale battle Oliver. I don't know Tour Somers. I don't know him. Alexi, another veteran rider. This is a guy from my generation. Okay, we rode together for a week before Unicon 2014. That feels like forever ago now. But he's sick. He's refined his style over years and years and years. He is going to be tough to beat. And then you got the up-and-comer. The Max Whip guy. Joe Machetans. I'm sorry about how I said it, dude. Makatons. But this guy is sick. I don't know what type of experience he has competing on the world stage. I'm assuming he was a junior competitor at Unicon's past if he competed. But he is really good. He's really good. And I know he's got at least one trick that if he landed it as his final trick would be worth a lot of points, right? It's one of the best tricks ever done. And this kid can do it. I can't wait to watch these battles, man. I hope someone films all these. Well, they're going to have that live stream. I can't watch the live stream tomorrow. I'm so busy tomorrow. It's probably happening soon. How long is this video? Mike Backlida. Dude, this guy can 12 spin. He can Trey Quint on flat. His tricks are nuts. And then we've already talked about this little portion of the bracket here. I mean, these guys, these were finalists at the last Unicon. Okay? Yeah. Oh, no, not Yen. I'm sorry. Ben was a finalist at last Unicon. Yen has a ton of experience competing, though, as well. He's got really good competitive style. Shuhei, this guy's, I think he's tough to beat. I do. I think he covers every base with his riding. He's got the freestyle tricks. He's got the crazy unispins. And Dow's been refining his competitive style as well. He knows Dow has a good bag of tricks for a flat battle. He does. I've watched Dow compete many times. Never in person, though, somehow. How have I never seen this guy compete in real life? Anyway, I'm just yapping at this point. But, guys, I don't know if you could tell how excited I am for this. I'm very excited for this flat comp. I don't know who's going to win. I don't know who's going to take it. I can't wait to see these battles. I mean, just this right here is going to be sick. This is going to be so sick. I opened this up to look at. I didn't understand the bracket the first time I looked at it. I've never seen a bracket like that where it's like multiple brackets with riders competing to earn spots in the other parts of the bracket. So I had to develop an understanding of it before I could come on here and talk. I'm sorry. I know this video was not very like visually appealing. You're just looking at my screen here with just like Word documents open on it, but I hope at least I could give a little insight and be kind of entertaining just because I'm it's late at night. I'm sleep deprived, take care of these little babies. And I'm just like weirdly passionate about unicycle competitions, you know? There's got to be doing something for you, I hope. Anyway, guys, subscribe. I'm going to be going over all the results of all this. I'm going to go over best tricks. I'm going to have my personal rider of the competition. I'm going to see who actually wins. Congratulations to everybody I talked about. I'm so sorry if I missed anyone. I hope I said everything I want to say because I have to upload this tonight if I wanted people to see it before the flat results are up, which I do. So be on the lookout for reactions to those movie night videos and drop a comment. Let me know what you think. If you're at Unicon, just let me know what it's like so I could kind of like live vicariously through you for a couple seconds when I'm reading comments. I read them all. I respond to them all. All right? Let me know what you think. Okay, I'll see you guys in the next one.